Dear my fellow teachers, as we discussed in the previous video that we are going to discuss about quick write as a strategy for active learning in the classroom. At the end of this lesson, any teacher or all teachers who have participated in this session, they will be able to use quick write as a strategy for teaching in the classroom. Quick write. This is the first strategy, as I said. Quick write is a short written response to an open-ended question or prompt. Its activities allows a teacher to quickly assign students writing prompts. And also, it creates a habit of reflection and informally assesses student thinking. This also can activate prior knowledge and help students make connections and encourage critical thinking. Quick write provides the opportunity for a student to access their prior knowledge on the topic. For example, if a teacher asks, "What do you understand about the topic?" or a question in the classroom, quick write also determines whether or not a student have done the homework or assignment. Actually, this also engages students in thinking about the topic that is going on in the session. The quick write can be graded to encourage students to do their work or can serve as an attendance check. For example, a teacher should pose a prompt for a student to respond to in writing and tell them maybe they have to take 3 or 5 minutes to write it. And then students can work on it. In this type of learning, we can have the following things that are so beneficial for both teachers and students. 1. Promoting personal connections. In this scenario, we can think that during their first week of school, students, when they arrive there, often feels uncomfortable and alone. As a first week writing prompt, a teacher should tell them to have a quick write that can serve as an excellent small or large group discussion starter that's helping students get to know their classmates. After the quick write, teacher should put students into small groups for discussion. Quick write is one that always can be helpful in knowing how students are faring at the end of the first week, and can also help a teacher to respond to any question that your students have. Teachers, think about everything you have done in this week. A teacher can ask a student, this is an example of the question, that think about everything you have done in this week or in your class you attended or a paperwork you have completed and people you met. Secondly, assessing students' knowledge. Quick writes are good ways to find out what students know before assigning a reading or an assignment. In this case, the reading was an explaining about a certain concept, and the goal of the quick write was not only to assess student knowledge, but to check how was the topic interested to learners, which would be analyzed and summarized for other activities in the class. For example, a teacher might have an article of Malala Yousafzai, and this article is very essential for conscientizing human rights, and tell the students now to assess about the article. And then the teacher also can take time to assess what do they know about this article. Third point, that It helps also in summarizing and reading. Quick writes can be used to reinforce reading skills such as summarizing. First, ask students to read the article or a paragraph in a social science subject or in a biology subject. Then, ask students to highlight unfamiliar words and make notes about passages that made an impression to them. Number 4, it encourages critical thinking. Students in many disciplines are asked to write speeches, essays, and project papers that require them to take a stand on issue. This will enable them to make a claim and support their position clearly and logically. Quick write is one of the first steps in the process of writing a persuasive essay because thinking critically requires examining points of views. We have some questions that can support persuasive essays like agree or disagree with the statement. This is the question sometimes can be asked in the essay writings in the classroom, whether in civics, history, as well as English. Or another question might come like, state your position clearly and defend this point of view with specific detailed information and examples. Number 5, making predictions, inferences, and hypotheses. In a reading or a science class, students are often asked to predict what might happen in a piece of literature, for example, or in an experiment. In a science class, students might be asked to make a prediction about the likely outcomes of a particular experiment. The quick write below asks students to practice making inferences about the experiment they did. These can be used even in report writing after a certain experiment or observation. An example of this question that can assess a student or can help students to identify some inferences or report writing is, for example, what inferences you have observed in your experiments. Secondly, what challenges did you face in your assignment given? What challenges did you face in your assignment given? Dear teachers, this is how quick write can be used to assist student learning in the classroom.